Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Trading Room for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. In the last day of the third quarter of the year. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right, this is our only session today, so do away with disclosure. Crude. This trade was too early, so our trade would be this add-on gets just past target 1. And so it picks up 17 ticks on target, 1 on the trailer, 18 ticks for a one and done session. And we come back at 10 o'clock and do it again. Unleaded. Well, that's not very nice. That's 2 money management trades, so that's POQ, but it's only 4 ticks for target 2 traders. 2 on this trade, 2 on this trade, because break even stop is all you got on either one of them. Target 1 traders did get 36 ticks out, 35 for target 1 on this trade at 901.53, and 1 tick on the trailer. So we'll bring up micro NQ unless there are questions on unleaded. Got a wick on the short trade. And to get in sync, we won't start the session until 4 minutes after market open. Soybeans has a get in sync short. Crude is already done, as is unleaded. Pound Aussie picking up 2 positions at target 2, target 3, and target 4 for 92 pips off the targets, trailing at money management actually. Trailing at 312 from the entry at 342, so 30 ticks on the trailer so far, 30 pips rather. So the Pound Aussie is going to be one and done on the short trade when it completes. Market is open. And that went too far on the YM. Waiting for 4 minutes. After market open, we're just at 1 minute so far on the micro NQ. Soybeans get in sync short. Needs to get up to 107 flat. Micro NQ, flirting with money management. YM with a short. And a stop and reverse at 611. Yep. Three tick adjustment triggered in. So we'll go short and then long. Long on the micro Russell. And that has hit money management. Approaching target. We're going up one tick. 52.6 it looks like. 52.5. Micro NQ trade went too far, so we'll look for a new one there. Long on the YM. All right, stop and reverse back to short on the YM. We did pick up the entry on soybeans. And it looks like we stopped out of the pound Aussie for our 30 pips. And took a break even. This is possibly a valid short on the micro Russell. I'll have to go back and look at that. All right, YM gets a break even out of that. It's money management, nothing else. Micro Russell back to a long setup. One tick required there. 54 flat. Yep. Oh, and that actually stopped out. So that's going to be a full loss. So I count that actually as 2 full losses probably. So we have a break even and 2 losses. And we have a new short on the micro NQ. That one's taking heat at this point. But still live. YM takes a loss on the short. It's a full loss on the short. Soybeans getting close to target 1. Better check the volume. That doesn't look quite right on soybeans. Yep, volume still on November. Micro NQ still short. Soybeans is short. YM is flat. I believe we've got a win and 2 losses there on Micro Russell. Pound Aussie is complete. 121 pips on the targets 2, 3, and 4. 2 positions at target 2 because our money management was below target 1. So target 1 was too small. Long trade on the micro NQ. We did stop out, so that's loss number 1. Short on the micro Russell. Down 1 tick. I mean, it looks like 50.8. And we take a second 2 losses on the micro NQ. So we have a win and 2 losses on micro Russell, and this is not looking good on this trade. Loss here would end the session. YM with a short trade. Very little activity on soybeans today. And loss number 3 on the micro Russell. That ends that session. 2 losses on the micro NQ. So micro Russell, pound Aussie, 9 a.m. crude, unleaded, all complete. One loss or 4 trades on the micro NQ, whichever comes first. And we have a stop and reverse. This is the final trade. $26. Final trade on the YM. This is trade number 6. And that's a full loss. So YM is done. Tough session on the YM. That's going to be a losing session there. Soybeans is still short. First trade of the day. Soybeans still active. Micro NQ no. That was the loss on the micro NQ. Second loss. Hit the entry, came back and stopped out before going on. Soybeans and the micro NQ. And we will wait about 13 plus minutes for the 10 a.m. crude mini session. Red label report at 10 a.m. So we'll wait a couple of minutes after before we start our 10 a.m. mini session. Short setup on micro NQ. Not triggered, so trade is still valid, but it looks like we're going to get a crossover on this bar that would give us a long trade. Nope, we didn't. I don't think we got the crossover. Yeah, it's still okay. So we're in the short. Yeah, we didn't. Lines came together but didn't cross, so we are short on the micro NQ. Trade number 3. Under 10 minutes to our crude inventory, or not inventory, crude 10 a.m. mini session. And we'll wait 2 minutes on that one as well, so we're actually just under 12 minutes. Because of news. So 2 charts currently active, waiting for a new mini session to open up on crude. Micro NQ is short, soybeans is short. Bottom center, bottom right. Catapult on micro NQ, and micro Russell was also catapult. Catapult trader. Soybeans is on counterpunch, and the rest of our charts are on spotlight. Money management on micro Russell. Top stop comes to 774 3/4. So we'll have at least one more trade beyond the current trade on the micro NQ. Since it will be either a winning trade or a break-even trade. Not much going on. Short micro NQ, short soybeans. Seven minutes plus before we start trading the 10 a.m. crude mini session. We have news right at 10 a.m., so we'll wait 2 minutes today. And there is target 2 and target 3. So now looking for target 4. This is definitely a win. So it looks like we get target 4. On the nose, and looks like a stop out on the trailer as well. $745.5. Yep, we did stop out. 2 losses and a win. Targets 2, 3, and 4 plus trailer just beyond target 2. Long trade now on the micro NQ. Soybeans still in the short. That one not looking quite as healthy. Set new lows on the micro NQ. Approximately 5 minutes to our 10 a.m. crude mini session. One loss or 3 trades, whichever comes first, will end our session on the micro NQ. All right, we lost 124 points. On the 2 losses on the micro NQ. We pick up 28.5, 40.5, 52.5, 69, 121.5. There's money management. So the trade number 4 is going to be at least break even. So we should be positive at this point. We do need to get at least one more win in. We need a solid target 2, or actually a target 3 win to make sure we don't go negative on a loss. Soybeans market really, really slow this morning. Very, very few bars, as you can see on the chart, between the session open yesterday evening and the current price. Those are five tick range bars. Target 2 win on micro Russell or micro NQ. So we'll move up to target 3. That's 28.5 points. We're getting very close to being enough to make sure we're positive on the session, but not quite. All right, target 3 in hand and trailing, and we are definitely going to be positive on the session today. So that is, I believe, 69 points. Yeah. So 69 points in hand. Added to the roughly 150 that we were, 150.5 or so. So we're basically 220 points positive. The third loss would be, unless it's got a wick to it, would be another 62 points. So 186 points in losses, and at least 220 on the winning side. Plus we've still got 2 positions left on the trailer. It's at 778. $24 points times 2 positions. Now we go up to 783 and 3/4. 754. So we're just shy of 30 points on the trailer. That's another 59.5 points. So we're basically looking at around 270 points minimum now on the winning side. Currently 124, even with a third loss. And there's target 4. 52.5 points. $272.5, 273. $54, 754 up to 789.25 to 35. So we're over 300 points on this trade. Or over 300 points positive. So basically we're sitting 180 plus points positive, around 180 points positive on the session. And we are to our 10 a.m. mini session. Looking for a trade, currently flat. That was our last trade. That trade stopped out before we got to the session. So looking for a new trade there. Soybeans is short. Micro NQ is long. 3 active charts. Stop out on the Micro NQ and now go short. Well, that's 2 wins, 2 losses. 1 loss or 2 trades is what remains. So this trade and possibly one more. Money management, so even if we just go break even, we'll take another trade, and this one's a winner. Target 2 in hand, another 28.5 points. So about 210 points positive on the session so far. Three positions still in play on that trade. Squeeze zone filter keeping us out of the short on crude. Status quo. Short micro NQ, short soybeans, flat on crude. Okay. Micro NQ moving down again. A little bit more on this trade. Trying to get to target 3. Got some upward wicks there. So we're getting some pressure, upward pressure as well. 3 bars that tested the 50 EMA. So far, at least, the sellers are still in control at the moment. more upward pressure. All right, there's the stop out, trailing just below target 1. And we now have a long trade for our final setup on the micro NQ. So we got target 2, had 3 positions still in play, and got 29 points out of each of those. Yeah, that's another 87 points. So we're looking at right at 300 points positive, and we're in the long trade. For just one micro or one contract on each position, we're looking at $600 profit today. At least so far. We still have the potential for a 62-point loss. So still going to be around at least 240 points. And there is break even, so we're going to be over 3. Took 2 initial losses, and now this is the 3 wins and at least a break even after that. So a very successful micro NQ session. Soybean still hadn't gone anywhere. Still right in between the entry and target 1. Nothing going on crude. And we stop out at break even on the micro NQ trade. That completes its session at positive roughly 300 points. So crude and soybeans, the only thing left. And I got about 10 minutes before I have to roll out of here. So success on the pound Aussie, micro NQ, 9 a.m. crude, unleaded, essentially break-even session. Target 1 traders actually came out positive on unleaded. YM was a losing session. Micro Russell was a losing session. And soybeans is in the only trade it's had today. So this trade will probably determine the soybeans outcome for the day. And no trade so far on crude. Get a short on crude. Pre-market indices indicating short-term downward push here. Little push down on crude, but not much. You need a couple of down bars to get a short trade. Let's see if we can get through the 50 and set up a move downward. Wheel. Things are not moving anywhere to speak of. Just a couple of minutes before I'm gonna have to shut it down. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a morning. No indication of significant movements in either of the two markets we're still active in. So we will call it a day and come back and do it again tomorrow. 9:30 regular session. 10:30 a.m. crude oil inventory sessions scheduled for tomorrow. We will see everybody then. Everybody have a good afternoon. Good trading.